exposed.
Yeah, yeah, it's very maybe possible, but I mean, if you have leaders with visions, if you have leaders that can see their country, maybe visualize their country in 10 years now, then they will work towards it. But unfortunately, you have leaders that only know their pockets. That is why once I don't know which allegiance they hold on to, either allegiance to their own country or allegiance to their bank accounts, because most of their family are abroad. So I just don't know. So let's forget about, no, we're not forgetting about Africa at the moment. What we should be talking about now is how it affects me here. Because electricity, for instance, I pay X amount of money for electricity per month. It's going to buy maybe 2.5 times. We'll just say, where will I get the difference from?
Exactly.
And that's how so many people will be in that situation that I don't know what the energy company can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only energy. The whole whether it's being triggered by energy sector or not, but the cost of living, including food,
fuel, petrol,
everything,
diesel, and everything. Yeah,
it's going up, and even council tax is going up.
Is it just the sequel to something bigger that might happen? I don't know.
Yeah,
because
who can rule out the fact that the world may go into a deeper recession? Nobody, no economist can rule that out. Possible, particularly with the situation in Russia now going on, and there's no really seem to be a solution on the horizon.
And then with the world may possibly in parts rely on China, and half of China is on lockdown. So the production in the world is just gone down big, and demand is high. So that's why prices are going up. Where will this? When will it stop?
Nobody knows yet, but hopefully, governments, particularly in the leading economies, needs to get a grip of the situation.
I mean, how? But how would they do it? That's my question.
They will end up.
Will they pump cash into the economy?
This is what they happened. This is what happened. But how if Americans find it easy to print dollars, and UK they have this quantitative easing, which is borrowing money, printing money, basically.
Yeah, but I mean,
what about countries countries in Africa?
You can't print money.
Because you cannot print dollars in Africa,
I mean, they can print their local currency. I mean, what I'm just saying is, even dollar goes have to be backed up by something. You can't just print. If you print dollars anyhow, we find out that it becomes the value of dollar will drop. So I mean, that one is possibly not effective solution to the problem. I just don't know. I mean, the governments will have to do, whether it's Labour or Conservative, it doesn't matter anymore. They have to do something.
But if governments haven't done anything, what can we, people who are affected by all this, do?
What will you do? If you can't get blood from stone, so no matter the bill they give you, unless they want to lock everybody up for non-payment. If you can't pay, you can't pay. You've got to eat. You've got to live.
Exactly.
So it's very, very difficult. Unless they will, maybe the governments will have to find some sort of strategy, maybe what they did during COVID. Fair long, no. I don't know whether that one, what term they will call this one. To just borrow more
and give us from what they borrow.
Oh, they have to. They don't. They have to. Either the tax legs so that people will have more disposable income, but they still need revenue themselves. So I mean, it's no room for maneuver at all. It's very difficult.
Yeah, because it kept going. I mean, COVID didn't help at all, because people thought that by the end of it, or maybe once the things started to go to normal, then economy is going to pick up. But now, instead of picking up, it seems to be going down.
But this country does not rely on Russia for their oil. I mean, maybe about 2% of it. So I mean, they have oil, North Sea oil, and all this type of. So why should energy go up? That's why
yeah, because it's the price of the international
in the market.
Yeah, you cannot.
So I mean, in that case,
yeah,
in that case, government can either back it up with subsidy. That will help.
No, I mean, given the ideology of this government, it's a conservative government. They will never go down the route of subsidization now.
You see what happened in May 5th election, local government election. You see, I mean, this might result in election deciding the fate of whatever government is in place. Because people will definitely not be able to pay. You can't starve yourself because you want to hit yourself up.
And you don't want a revolution in the country.
No, I'm not talking about men. I'm talking serious.
Yeah,
They
because
must
if
have a
people go hungry at the situation.
right thinking people to start putting on their thinking cap to sort out this mess.
Yeah.
Even if the Ukraine invasion stops now, I don't think this cost of living will stop.
May reverse. Possibly if the whole economy is to get a bit of momentum going forward rather than contracting, then there could be, end to the misery on side. I mean, this if over if and if.
Right. And I was reading some this afternoon about Finland and Sweden wanted to join NATO and opposition as usual, Russia. This membership of NATO, is it just, it will appear it's like Security Council membership. Every member of NATO has a veto. The decision to allow anybody in has to be unanimous. All members will have to agree. But Turkey yesterday saying they will oppose these two countries coming into NATO. So Boris Johnson, in his bid to bring these two nations to NATO, is stuck, as it were. Because if a member says they disagree, then membership will be dismissed.
Why should they come in the first place? To do what?
I mean, that's, I mean, you've seen as Russia, because of power, they almost decimated Ukraine because they have the power. So I mean,
this is a altogether different historical and political situation.
If what is happening in Ukraine didn't happen, there wouldn't be any need for anybody to feel agitated. Oh, let me find an agency, someone to protect me.
Yeah, but if joining NATO or not in itself is going to create, and this is exactly what happened with Ukraine. Joining or not joining itself is becoming an issue of conflict.
Yeah, man, but I'm just saying, what are you afraid? What's Russia afraid of? Nobody is coming to attack you. I mean, you might use the same argument with were in the 60s when this Cuban crisis, that putting missile base in Cuba does not mean America is threatened. But they refused.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, but this is, if you are sure of yourself, as you are demonstrating that you are the big brother, you can decide in that region. Russia shouldn't be okay, because shouldn't be afraid, because to them they have the capability of defending themselves. So why are they? What is this? Having this psychological fear that if NATO is situated in their backyard, they feel threatened. They have a existential threat. That is nonsense.
Why?
That is Putin being drunk with power. I mean, you can say, because you can't stop a sovereign nation as long as it does not interfere with you. You can't stop a sovereign nation. What does it matter if, for instance, China say, okay, I don't like the face of Russia, and they attack Russia. China doesn't need to be at your backyard. So it's just Putin that is power drunk, you know. But I'm beginning to lose sympathy for him. Sometimes it's okay. You might say, give the argument you're giving now that, oh, is he threatened if you have
so you don't think that they should feel threatened if everyone around them join NATO and they become surrounded by NATO?
Why do you?
They should just ignore it as if nothing is happening.
Why do you think NATO rejected their membership?
Because they see them as the enemy, and traditionally they have been the enemy.
That is
so they think that Russia is now playing the role that Soviet Union played in the past.
Yeah, if you
and ultimately see why.
Yeah, if
ultimately is competition over power, and then what behind it, resources, and they see Russia now shakily and in a very nasty way moving into Africa. Using this vanguard thing.
But they've been in Africa before. They were like African big brothers before. This thing. Instead of developing the country, they enslaved the country.
This is what they are doing now. Protecting a few ruling class, and then getting all these, concessions relating to exploitation of minerals and
foreign assets.
So they have a plan, and it's well being said that, it's been actually proven that Russia actually prepared for this for a long time, and they actually
prepared for what?
For what is happening in Ukraine right now,
and
what they did.
Yeah, because
they extracted every possible and accumulated every possible ton of gold from Africa. That's why the ruble is going up now. Everything is against them, and the ruble is going up. Because they know that they've already, they managed to get these African countries, African places, someone like Sudan, which produces 200 tons a year of gold, and it's all being shipped through their proxy operators like Vanga, being all shipped to Russia. And the same thing is happening in places like the Central African Republic, and even in West Africa, in places like Nigeria.
See, look. No matter who you are, as long as you're a human being, there will be a termination to your life one day.
You mean humanity is going to disappear?
No, individuals. Before I talk to generally about
yeah,
humanity.
but we're not talking about the individuals
no,
here.
Look, why? And I don't want
Talking
to.
about countries, don't
Okay, you know what I mean when I say individuals. I don't want to mention. No matter who you are, just let me talk generally now. No matter who you are, one day you will leave this earth.
we? Yeah,
And
but I'm talking
the-
about the country. This is a personal faith. And we know, but what about country? What about my generation behind? What about my country?
Your country will remain. Your country will go through a lot of metaphors
So
changes.
it's irrelevant what you are saying because I'm not thinking about myself right now. I want the future.
Well, it depends because many people have different views of their own country, let alone. I'm just saying, no matter you might be the big boy of your country, the big man of your country, the most powerful man in the world, and everything. But one day all this will met away.
But the land and the people are going to stay there unless
the people
unless some sort of catastrophe, being stricken by another planet or another, maybe. But as long as we are here now,
I think
okay.
The renowned professor said it. Professor Stephen Hawking says humanity will be exterminated from this earth by two things: by either a virus or a nuclear war. So whatever you are defending, whether you are defending your country or you're defending individual, you're defending whatever defense you want to defend, one day it will all end. Then you ask us, was it all worth it?
But we are not going to get hit by an object from the space.
You don't know. One day, because you are part
until,
of
until that happens, some generations to come.
Our thinking should be very, very global, not thinking like a head of a pin. We should think big. We should think how to make our earth better, reduce carbon emission, all these type of beautiful things like that. Because one day you want to live a beautiful earth.
Very recently, images started to appear of black holes in the space.
That is sucking everything up. One day.
That they have the capacity to. I mean, what they are saying is that the size of one of them is 400 million the size of the sun.
Yeah.
This is
So,
mind-boggling sort of idea.
Yeah.
So what you asking, what you are asking me now is to put that into consideration.
Of course, yeah. You see, I will even try to put fear into you. Maybe the black hole in the galaxy.
So I shouldn't be satisfied. This is what you saying effectively. I shouldn't be satisfied with thinking where am I now in Manchester. Should be thinking of the whole country, not the whole country actually, the whole continent, not all Earth. Not only Earth, but the solar system. Not only
galaxy.
The galaxy, not the galaxy, but now you're talking about
universe. you might
thinking of an object which is 400 million the size of the sun.
Yes, that is.
You want me to think about that?
Why not? Why did you start? Well, how did you know about it in the first place? Someone must have thought about it. Someone must have read about it. What? And this black hole maybe is like swallowing our solar system gradually, because it might take about 5,000 years. It can take about 1 million years, 1 billion years before our solar system disappears into the black hole.
Well, can I have a break and let them think about it then? Not now.
No, you don't need black hole to think. You destroy yourself before black hole eats you up. I don't know. Now, coming to black hole is a serious business. So we might not think about it because to imagine it is beyond our imagination. To even look at space, look at the Earth, is the universe, the expanse alone. Like planets to planets, take four light years. And our nearest sun is take about, they say 5 light years, and 1 light year is about 3 trillion miles away. So I'm nothing created yet by human being can travel with that speed.
Not even the light.
Yeah, not even the speed of light is very fast, but it's times 5. This one is mind-boggling. So I mean, you should be thinking, if some mad idiot wants to destroy the earth, can human beings escape? Go to Mars and start living? Anyway,
maybe because the very person that you talked about, which is Stephen Hawking, he also said time travel is a possibility in the future.
Theoretically. Anyway, we are not going on space now.
You've gone too far, haven't you?
Let's stick to African Jamboree.
It's more of an entertainment than whether it's information.
Let's stick to this. Going back to the membership of NATO, Okay. If we remove NATO, will the world be at peace?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a break now from this universe.
Yeah, because itself is becoming, joining it or leaving it is becoming an issue of stress to the world. Yeah. So get rid of the thing.
So will NATO just disappear naturally?
Let us hope so. It disappears. We don't want any, this international war sort of alliances. We don't want this. We want peace.
Okay, we'll get peace by God's grace. Maybe let's look up to the universe.
Let us hope it's not approaching now. Let us hope that we're not going to spot the black hole, absorbing us into.
We are insignificant compared to the universe.
You've gone too philosophical now.
No, because when I see people talking and big and this, I have nuclear weapon, I have all that. But what you don't have is eternal life. Anyway, stay tuned and we'll come back after the short music. Don't forget our contact number in the studio here is 0161 248 6767.